My name is Jessey Richards.
In life, there are challenges we all must overcome. Jessey Richards tells his story of becoming the individual he feels to be.
I first realized I was transgender when I was younger, very young, probably around the age of 4 or 5.
Life can be strange, but Jessey describes his personal struggle as a trans male.
I was more of a tomboy, sort of, when I was younger. Just kind of always wearing boy clothes and never wanting long hair and never wanting to play dress up and that kind of stuff when with my other sisters, because I have 3 sisters and I'm the youngest of all 3. So just never kind of identifying with that sort of feminine aspect of being younger, I guess, would be where it first started. After that point, when I started getting older and started feeling more social pressures to kind of dress accordingly to my assigned sex, which is female, I went through a more sort of androgynous stage. I was dressing more feminine towards puberty. Never any specific kind of super girly kind of clothes, but a more androgynous phase, and I was identifying as queer at the time. So that was kind of the first state I went through, was coming out to my close social group and those sort of people as gay. And after that, and all through high school, I identified as a lesbian. And then after I graduated high school, or rather while I was in high school, I joined a couple of sex positivity groups and kind of LGBT friendly groups, and that's where I learned where the phrase transgender was, and that was something that just kind of stuck with me, and I didn't actually pursue it until close to graduation, because it was just kind of this abstract thought in the back of my mind, not something that I really solidly connected with in that sort of way, but it was just something that was kind of there, like when you hear something and it just kind of embeds itself in your mind, So I think that was the next phase, is when after I graduated high school and I sort of investigated further into these things that I learned, and really started to correlate the two between the stories of people who identified as trans and their kind of becoming of that realization, and how that correlated to what I was going through at the time, and that was the point that I actually started identifying as transgender.
As Jessey enlightens us with his story of personal growth, we can all take away more compassion and understanding of all walks of life on this planet we all share and call home.
Transgender is part of who I am. I don't think that's who I am. I don't think that that's a word that could describe my being, because I'm an individual, like any trans person is. Transgender people transition to embody who they are, not because they're trying to change that. They're just trying to become content with themselves, like anybody is, I think it takes a lot to try to be happy with yourself, trans or not. I mean, people in general, we have a difficult time just kind of settling and being at peace with ourselves and finding that happiness that is difficult to find without this constant kind of validation from others, which I think is another thing that a lot of trans people focus on, is this validation, and do I pass, and will I be able to be seen as who I feel I am. So I think that's difficult, I just want people to be happy.